Susan, and I'm from the US. In Vietnam, the food is so fresh, and there's food everywhere. It's inexpensive, nourishing. A meal is $2. I was a software consultant, a lot of stress, and I could not sleep through the night. I kept thinking, just work harder. And one day, my body did not feel well. The doctors said, this is stress related. I went to a psychologist. She said, I've seen people like you, and they've died. My plan was to take a year off work, figure out what I wanted to do with my life, go back to work. And that was 10 years ago, and I've never gone back. And now, having a whole experience that I could never have planned, I could never have purchased because it's completely organic, but it came as a result of making that first decision. Take the leap, you will have friends, you'll be changing the way that you think. Life is so rich. Enjoy your life however you want to live it or navigate it. So here, she has the fresh coconuts for about 50 cents. So then the way that we pay for it, QR code is right down here, and I have a Vietnamese bank account. You have the code? Yeah, thank you. Deposits been made to our account, and now we're off and running.
So you really can get access to a lot of spices, vegetables.
Absolutely.
I mean, ginger is huge, a huge health food.
In the States, turmeric is $17 a pound, and here it's pennies. My name is Susan, and I'm from the US. I've been in Vietnam for a year and a half now. So I lived in Santa Monica, California. I was a software consultant, and that career was great until it wasn't. A lot of expectation, a lot of stress. I found myself working around the clock. There were so many different clients and different needs. My inbox was full, I had meetings coming up, people are Skyping me with questions, and I would find that even to walk away from my desk for 20 minutes to run down to Whole Foods and grab a quick lunch, I'd be almost shaking from stress, and I could not sleep through the night without waking up thinking about my clients. I kept thinking, just work harder, do whatever it takes to satisfy these clients, to get your job done. And I remember one day, just my body did not feel well, something was not right, and I ended up going to urgent care. And what the doctors said, they did all the tests on me, and they said my blood pressure was elevated and my heart rate was elevated. And they said, this is stress related. We're just going to put you into a quiet room, cover you with a blanket, let you sit in the dark, and we're going to come back and take your stats intermittently. I spoke with the doctor. He said, I'm going to write you a note. I want you to take some time off work, and you need to sort this out. That's when I went to a psychologist, and I said, I need some help reframing how I do my job, how I can do it successfully. And she said, you need to reconsider going back to your job at all. And I thought, what are you thinking? What are you talking about? She said, we're not talking about your career and your job, we're talking about your life. And I've seen people like you, and they've died. It was shocking to hear, but definitely a rattling wake-up call. And that's when I thought, I need to make the hardest decision I've ever made in my life. I never give up on anything. I never walk away from anything. I'll do whatever it takes. And in this case, I had to put myself and my health above other people's expectations, my job, my career, what I've known, and make a different choice. I decided to take a year off work, and I was going to do everything I've always wanted to do, and I haven't had the time. I can go on a trip and not be in a big rush to get back. It's not scheduled every single minute because I'm so short on time. My plan was to do that for 1 year, and then come back, figure out what I wanted to do with my life, get a job, and go back to work. And that was 10 years ago, and I've never gone back. What I did instead is I started traveling longer term, and I was leaving on a one-way ticket. It started at 3 months, and then it went to 6 months, and then it went to a year. After taking a little bit of time, I wanted to do some philanthropic work. And there's a gal that I know, and she had a nonprofit go into Tanzania to the villages and help build clean water wells. And I thought, that's what I'm going to go do. And going to Africa was absolutely life-changing. And the kids would be in their school building, come running outside, and they're doing flips, and they're hugging. It fills you with so much joy. At one point, there were 16 of us in a 4-bedroom house, 1 bathroom, and the shower was a bucket with a scoop, It was my last day there. They said, no, we're going to gather the family together. Everybody's in a big circle, and now we're going to sing to you. And I'm like, why people sing to me? And you just want to cry. It just means so much. And I thought the gift that they're giving me is more special than any physical gift that I've ever received. It was from that trip also I decided to continue traveling. I went back home and I thought, okay, I'm not quite ready to go back to work yet. And so I did it again, and I did another trip. And what I did was I rented out my place in Santa Monica, and that would cover all of my travel expenses. So I thought, well, just do this now, and while you can. My friends were like, are you gonna go back to work? And I said, yeah, of course I'm gonna go back to work, but not tomorrow. Everything was one-way tickets, and I just went wherever the wind was blowing, what felt right. I went to northern Vietnam. I traveled all the way to the south over a couple months, and I thought, there's a whole different world out here. The locals are very accommodating, and I've gone to like a Zumba class that is taught in Vietnamese, and it's all Vietnamese. And so I don't understand what they're saying, but I'm just 3 seconds behind, doing my best to keep up. And then afterwards, they all want me to go get coffee with them. And I've realized that the world is full of friends that you have a bet at. You just have to go meet them. People don't seem to give value or credit to what you're wearing, how your hair looks. There's no judgments happening. And how people evaluate each other is based on how that person shows up. You show up and laugh, have fun, go to the beach, sing karaoke. It's about the presence and the experience and the relationships with each other. You can be at a pool party in a bikini, in jeans. As a matter of fact, I remember when I first moved here, and I'd be at the beach and I'd see, say, a lady walking by in a dress, and she'd look out at the sea, and then I'd see her walk out and go swimming. I'm like, she's swimming in a dress. Now she gets out, and she's dripping wet, and she's walking back to her hotel or her apartment. But you can do that? And I started realizing everyone does that. People swim in their clothes. It doesn't matter. Why couldn't you go swimming in your dress? You can go swimming in your dress. Anything goes. And nobody looks twice, and nobody cares. And once I started adjusting to that, it is so freeing. When I landed here, I started realizing the food is so fresh, and there's food everywhere. You can go to a street corner, and the grandma's made a fresh pot of soup, sit down on a little plastic chair, eat your $1 or $2 soup, feel energized, satisfied, and then go on with your day. A meal is maybe $2 US. People tend to drop weight here because of the activity, the lifestyle, the weather, the food, and it's just a very easy place to be. In Santa Monica, I'd go to the farmer's market, and I'd buy all my greens and bringing them home, and if I left the house, I'd always have to prepare food and take it with me. I never even realized the amount of effort and thought I put into eating and drinking healthy until I got here. It's inexpensive, it's nourishing, and that I find really, really pleasant. It seems like their lifestyle is just so healthy. I'm at the beach at 5 in the morning, and the beach is packed. And I'll see these little old ladies, and they show up with a dinner plate. And on the hard, wet sand, they'll carve out a space for their body to lie, and they'll lie in that space, and they're watching the sunrise. They've built in all of the things that we're trying to emulate with health and wellness products back in the States. I think I need to watch them more closely and just do what they're doing. They are running around, they're active, they're happy, they're friendly, they're hugging, they're living in community. They just seem like such a healthy society, and that's so attractive to me, and I love being a part of it. It's a series of small yeses, saying yes to the trip, yes to the friendship, yes to the event. And now I'm having a whole experience I never could have imagined in the past, ending up in a small village in central Vietnam with a family where only the 12-year-old girl speaks English, and I'm staying at their house as a guest. And I just take this step back and think, how am I in somebody's living room in the middle of a village 3 hours away from the city I landed in, laughing with people who don't speak my same language? What a fulfilling, lovely experience that I could never have planned, I could never have purchased. Nobody could have told me about because it's completely organic. but it came as a result of making that first small decision, and then the next small decision, and maybe the next big decision. If you have that calling of adventure, I want to go, just try it. Because what I've experienced is when people have that, but they limit themselves, it comes out in different areas that might not be as productive for that person. I remember feeling like there's so much adventure out there, but I didn't think that it was a realistic thing for me to travel long term or go live abroad. But there's so many things that went through my mind, like to do it alone. Is it safe? What about healthcare? What about friends? What if I don't like it and I want to come back? I decided just to try it for a few months and realized all those things are taken care of. The healthcare abroad is amazing. There's friends everywhere. There's activities everywhere. There's the lifestyle that you're looking for. It exists out there. You'll never be alone if you don't want to be alone. It's very safe. It's very affordable. You don't have to travel high-end, and you don't need to be a backpacker. There's a very affordable middle ground where you can be living abroad and enjoying your life however you want to live it or navigate it. And I would encourage anybody to take the leap. Before you know it, you will have friends, you'll be changing the way that you think, changing your activity level, you can focus on your health, you can read books. Life is so rich. Do not worry that you're not going to have anything to do. And if you want to talk about it more, call me.